What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we have another trailer review we are going to be doing today for a film, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Traumatika trailer, Night Terrors Become Reality in Demonic Possession movie. So you already know just from the headline alone, I'm already all in. Demonic possession, if this is going down the path of religious horror, the religious horror subgenre, I'm already all in. I'm gonna see it. Whether or not it's any good or not is going to be the question. Now, I know one of the last religious horror films that came out, which was The Ritual with starring Al Pacino. I have seen it, yes, for those if anyone's wondering. And did I like it? I wouldn't say I was impressed. And I'm going to be putting up my movie review on my walkthrough summary of the film. And my review of it, my score of it out of 5 this coming weekend. So be on the lookout for that, plus some other movie reviews we'll be doing just to get fully caught up. But yeah, it wasn't. I know a lot of people just thought it was absolutely trash of a film. I wouldn't say it was like out of 5. I wouldn't give it a 0 or a 1, but it's not that far off from a 1. And while they were trying to do something different when it comes to an exorcism type film, which they did, I mean, it's in the name, The Ritual, and I'll go into those details in the review, but it wasn't that great. And I know I'm a sucker when it comes to religious horror films. It doesn't matter to me what anyone has to say about it. I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna see it. Even when it came down to the 2 Russell Crowe exorcism films that he did back to back in 2 different years, I did watch both of those. I actually watched both those films back to back and did reviews on them. So with this one here, if it says, like I said, demonic possession, if this turns out to be a religious horror film, I mean, I'll see this either way if the trailer looks good. But just the fact that if it's religious horror, I'm definitely going to see it regardless of what the trailer looks like. So let's, as we always do, let's jump into the article details. Then we'll take a look at the trailer. I did check the timestamp of this trailer. It's a little over 2 minutes, which is what I like to see when it comes to a trailer. Anything 2 minutes to 2.5 minutes, I think, is a solid runtime for a trailer. If you're at, anywhere between 30, up to 30 seconds, it's more of a TV spot. If you're anywhere between a minute 30, minute 15, minute 30, to me, it's more of a teaser than a full trailer itself. But this one is a little bit longer. So, all right, so let's get into these article details now. I mean, just looking at this image here, imagining this image is going to be in the trailer. I mean, that right there already has me like I'm intrigued. I want to know where we're going with this, especially if it's religious horror, because not a lot of religious horror films get gory, get bloody. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is some, but the way this image looks, it could be taking it a step further. So let's get into these details. The trailer for Traumatika warns that it's not a movie you see, it's a movie you survive. Okay, so now they're saying here supernatural horror film possesses theaters on September 12th from Sabian Films. So I see supernatural horror and religious horror or demonic possession as 2 vastly different things. So let's keep going. A young boy's night terrors become reality when his mother begins showing signs of demonic possession. What he's about to experience will haunt him for the rest of his life and claim countless lives across generations. Okay, so we have another having to face your family's past or their past. So you guys have heard me say this probably more and more lately when it comes to trailer reviews. It seems to be a tent pole for horror films, or that's what they keep falling back on as a foundation, having to face something in your past or your family's past. Let's keep going here. So we have names here. Pierre directs. I'm not going to try to pronounce the last name. Pierre directs from a script co-written by Maxine Racon. The pair previously collaborated on 2 Witches. So we have a list of names here of those starring in it. We're not reading off everyone's name. You can see them there for yourself if you want to read them. Quote, it's hard to prepare yourself for the highly disturbing film that Pierre and Maxine have created. They are truly mad genius storytellers, said Sabian co-presidents Jonathan Sabia and Shannon Becker. Consider yourself warned. Traumatika premiered at Fry Fest last year and went on to screen at Stygius, Morbido Fest, Fantospia, and more. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing even half those correctly. But you can see where it premiered in 2024. We have the trailer here. Okay, we have a poster. Okay, so I'm not even going to keep scrolling. You already know what I'm going to say about this poster. This nonsense is not needed. Violent, angry, and unafraid. And it's a quote from somebody over at Dread Central. You don't need this on your posters. Get rid of this nonsense. I mean, you might as well put on their scariest movie said by New York Times, or 99%, on Rotten Tomatoes with a big tomato stamp on it. I mean, this type of stuff is not necessary. All right, so I like the image of what imagery we're using here. It says, again, we're talking about supernatural and demonic possession, so I'm not sure if this is meant to be a demon, maybe, or the person that's possessed, but I would imagine this might be the demon. I do like the makeup that's being used for this particular character, whoever it might be. All right, so then we have this right here. This is what I'm talking about. They just have the name and the two logos for those that are producing or putting the film out, and that's it. Because usually you'd see all the small credits, brought to you by this director, producer, and then a laundry list of names here at the bottom below the title. This I'm okay with, because I'm sure you need to have this for whatever reasons, copyright. You want to have the production companies out there, and the name. This up here is not needed. That right there, get rid of that, and you have in my opinion, a banger of a poster. Nice, clean, to the point. Here's the film. Here's a character from it. Here's the name. Let's get into it. So, all right, so let's get back to the top. So as you see here, here's the timestamp. So it's 2 minutes and 9 seconds long. So I said 2 minutes, so it's 2 minutes, 9 seconds. All right, so let's get back to the top of this article, as we always do. All right, so now let's pull up, let me get the volume set. So now let's pull up this trailer and see what this one's about.
Child is believed to have been abducted from his home over 9 months ago. This is the 4th child abduction in the past 12 months in the Los Angeles County area.
There's a demon. Preys on children.
Don't make a sound. If I can hear you or see you, then the monster will come and get you.
You look nervous.
What have I done? I'm so sorry I brought it here. Brought what?
The child's in the house. The child.
All right, so that's a tough, this is a tough one, because even though we only had one imagery of a cross falling off the wall more than 3/4 of the way into that trailer, this doesn't look like religious horror. This is definitely more so on the supernatural aspect, where you just have, whether in this case it's just a demonic possession. I don't think they're going down the religious horror aspect here. It's definitely more the supernatural. Now it appears that there's a kind of a mix, almost of, unless it's just how they decide to do the filming of this. I don't want to say it's found footage, but some of those scenes look like almost found footage type methods. Now it could just be that we're taking the viewpoint of the person, like a couple of times at the beginning, like we're taking the viewpoint of the young child, and this demonic possessed woman is running at him or towards him. and then we're kind of that individual running away, and it's kind of mixing things up. But then it shifted to some more of the traditional filming styles, right, that you would normally see in any other film. So that was an interesting switch up throughout this entire trailer. Now, it starts off with an overtalk of this young child, and we hear that it says that the child has been missing went missing 9 months, and then we immediately see this woman who is clearly possessed. We see the black eyes, and we've seen that before, that depiction of someone being possessed across various films and TV series. And when I see the black eyes, I immediately think the TV show Supernatural. Because once they started introducing the angels and demons into that show, one of the points that they would highlight when someone was possessed by a demon is they would blink and like their eyes would go black, right? And that's how they show that they were demon possessed. So that's immediately what I saw there. Now, obviously, this demon, it feeds off of children or goes after children, and that would make sense. Then why then the focal point might be this young boy, and maybe why these women or individuals, adults, kidnapped him to allow this demon to feed off of him or eat him or do whatever. And I don't know really based on what this trailer how that's going to look, but there looked to be at least two women that were possessed in this film. We did see the imagery from the article. We did see that scene quickly. We didn't get enough information from the trailer to know what leads up to that. It was just literally the image, and then it moved on. We did see something similar to like the Reagan, I'll call it the Reagan crawl from the extended cut of The Exorcist, when she's running down the stairs, kind of arched up. We saw something similar to that, but someone kind of running on all fours, one of the women, again, towards the camera angle. I see this one having an abundance of jump scares, but I have a feeling they're going to overdo it. I have a feeling they might overdo the number of jump scares in this. It does look like it could be a slow burn type situation until we get I'd say about halfway into it, and then it might start to ramp up. And then when we saw the sheriff or police officer get introduced into this trailer, there was a couple scenes where he's looking, we assume it's him looking down into this basement, and there's splattered blood on the wall. And we saw an older lady, looks like she was either tied up or pressed up against the wall, and she had blood all over her face. Then we saw the sheriff against the wall saying the boy is in the house. And it almost, at that point towards the end of the trailer, started looking more like a grindhouse type feel, like they were trying to give it that feel of a grindhouse type film. Now the way that it's shot doesn't have that, right? You don't have the scratching, the skipping, the cigarette burns. You don't have all that type of stuff that really gives it that grindhouse effect. But it almost felt like that's where they were trying to go with this. I appreciate that, and I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it. I think modern horror films are doing, some of them, not all of them, some of them are doing themselves a disservice by not taking advantage of that grindhouse look and feel to modern horror films. Take a modern horror film, add some of that stuff onto it, and I think that could add just as much creepiness and eeriness to it than anything else. So overall, though, this does look pretty good. I'll see this one for sure. Again, this one comes out in theaters on September 12th. Now, it says only in theaters. It doesn't say limited, theatrical run or limited theaters and VOD on the same day. So I imagine this is going to get a wider release. Even if it gets a wider release, I can see this only really being out for roughly 3 to 4 weeks tops before it gets pulled and we get a digital and VOD probably by week 5. No later than week 6. So if this isn't playing in my local area, it's definitely going to be on my radar to give a rental or a blind buy purchase, because again, it doesn't look like it's religious horror, but just the demonic possession aspect of it has me highly intrigued. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for this trailer review for, again, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Traumatika. Coming out theater September 12th. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the trailer. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.